Welcome to Key Conversations, the podcast where we talk about all things that can help you level up your music career. This season, we are doing the 12 days of Amplify leading up to the holidays, highlighting successes of independent musicians that are part of the monthly mastermind Amplify. I hope you enjoy, and if you're a musician interested in joining, head to inthekey.co/amplify. Let's get started. Okay, we made it. This is the very last session of the 12 days of Amplify. It's the 12th day, although we have had multiple sessions a day. This has been truly amazing to talk to members of this incredible community of independent musicians and just hear what's possible and sort of spin this whole COVID ruined my career on its head. So today, in this session, earlier today, we had the ladies, and now we're going to have the gents. So I'm going to first bring on Chris KEATS. Hello.
Hello, the gents. I like that.
The gents. Yeah, we've got Josh Bradford's going to join us hopefully in a minute here, but you are in a different part of the world than I am. Tell everyone where you are and what's going on for you.
I am. I'm now back in Valencia, Spain, España.
You are. You were there. You got stuck there, right? And then you chose to stay, and then you left, and then you chose to come back. Basically, I came here to play a So Far Sounds gig in March and play another couple of gigs. But my plan was to move to Valencia anyway, so it was it was a recce. It was 3.5 weeks, play the gigs, find somewhere to live, find a job. I was going to teach English at the time. Yes, which I haven't done and don't really intend to do now. So it's interesting how that works. I know. Huh. Also, you're wearing an incredible hat. This will be, for those of you who are not watching, but you're listening to the podcast, there's a very, very great Santa hat happening here, even though this podcast will live and be applicable throughout the entire year. But who can't love on a Santa hat, no matter what time of year it is? It's great.
Exactly. I saw it in a shop. I was like, I want to get Christmassy because I wasn't feeling that Christmassy. I was like, oh, there it is. There's the start of it.
There it is. I love it. I actually have a tiny little tree lit up right next to me, but it's useless because the cord is like an inch long, so I can't pull it on. I could pull it on, but then it would just look like a tree. It's just weird. So you just trust that I have it.
I just imagine. It's funny because I moved into a new place today and I've got this desk and I've got everything set up and I need a little tree like that, like you've got.
You moved today. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's intense. All right. Intense. So let's dive in. What are you going to do in this new place? What do you got going on for your career in your music?
What a good question that is. So the first thing that comes to mind is I want to release 3 EPs next year.
Not 1, not 2, 3.
Today's C.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I did some sort of lo-fi recordings in 2016 with an old producer, and I was talking to another kind of music mentor, and I was like, I really want to release these, and she was like, why don't you just do a not a massive big EP, fancy, this is the new thing, but she was like, why don't you release them? And I was like, yeah, I really want to because it's different to what I do now, and it shows the journey, and I was in a very different place then. So that's numero uno. Then I want to re-record a couple of those songs from that EP and then add some new songs for release in sort of September time. And then I was thinking, because I've never really learned Christmas songs, and one of my ukulele students, she's 7, and we've been learning a Christmas tree and Jingle Bells. And I was like, do you know what? Christmas songs are amazing. They're all really short. They're all really catchy. They all make me feel absolutely amazing. I was like, I want to do a Christmas EP next year.
I love that. Look at that plan.
I know. And it was only inspired by her the other day because she played through 10 in half an hour. It's like, oh. So, yeah.
That's incredible. I totally love that plan. So we're releasing 3 EPs next year. Before we go on, I would love to invite Josh Bradford in, who is, I think, going to be in the screen in a minute here. And we're just going to have a little powwow, all the gents. So, Josh, you ready? I think he's ready. All right. Hey.
Right.
Oh, hi.
Oh, wow. Beard.
I didn't get to put on my hat. I was looking to put on my hat when I saw Chris's hat on.
And I did not put on my beard.
Okay.
No, you didn't. Guys.
For those that are listening, Chris and Josh are both boasting a beautiful full beard, both of them, different in their own ways, very different beards, but beards nonetheless. So, well, Josh, welcome. Excited to hear your year has been crazy as well. Everyone's year has been crazy, but I feel like we've come out on the other side, and I'm excited to talk to both of you. So we just got sort of a little summary of what's next for Chris, but Josh, what is your 2020 looked like?
You know, the one thing that I really wanted to concentrate on my end was because I've been thinking about this. I didn't even think I was going to have a chance to be on this. And thanks to Charmin, who you talked with earlier, she actually sent me a text and encouraged me. She said, you should reach out and just get on a slot. And we thought we would be together. We were trying to do that. And then it worked out to be like this.
The gents.
And I want to really say that for me, the Amplify community is what's important for me. It's been more about the community and less about my projects, because it doesn't matter whether I'm doing a project or not. People like the Amplify community are there regardless of whether you're doing a project or you're in between projects and I'm definitely been in that state of a lot of in-betweens. Yeah. I'm a full-time teacher right now. And so I got a wonderful opportunity back in March to spend like every day with Cheryl for like, what was that? Like 3 months that we just did that crazy, like every day, like literally at the beginning of COVID. Cause we didn't know. We were hoping, I think, that it was going to be over, and we're still in this craziness. And
I even said, people were like, when are you going to stop? I was like, we'll go every single day until COVID is passed. And then I was like, I need to rework this, guys. This is a lot of, that's, I have it's recorded. So someone could literally like pull that recording and be like, hey, you said you'd go every day. But I don't think I think people are getting sick of me.
I mean, even I was thinking after like the 90 days, I was like, this is not manageable. She's going to have to. And sure enough, like the next month, it was like, this is it. This is the last month we're going to do this. And this is how we're going to restructure. And I was like, yay. Oh, no, I'm going to be a teacher and I'm going to miss a lot of this. But that's okay, because I've still gotten to stay in touch with you and a lot of people. So,
so you got a teaching gig that you immediately had to like, it wasn't like you were teaching and then you transitioned. You were like, hello, welcome to your job during a pandemic. Like
actually I was teaching. What this is I really, again, thanks to Amplify, and trusting my own instincts. I moved from middle school to elementary when I was told, no, you can't do that. And I was like, you watch me. Like, I mean, this is the director, and I just was like, something didn't feel right. And so I reached out to a couple of Amplify members and reached out to some chosen family, and kind of, my gut was right. And guess what? I'm back where I belong. It's just meant that I'm in an in-between state as a musician, but still applying a lot of the principles that I've taken from Amplify and applying them to my classroom again.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I also love that you're able to really articulate and own that you're in between stuff. And I think we even on the very simple level of like, oh, when I'm in between records or in between projects, I don't know what to write to my email list or to my fans. And we can apply that everywhere. Like, I don't know how to participate in a community that's all about expansion when I'm in between stuff and sort of figuring things out and like resting or whatever it is that's not, I'm taking actions, I'm releasing music, which is great and amazing. And we want to talk about that stuff. But I love that you were like, I'm in between stuff right now. I'm transitioning and I'm, this is what I'm in. And the second you can distinguish that, there's so much power around it. And I hear that as you speak, when I think a lot of other musicians might be like, oh, I don't know, I'm not doing anything, I'm in between. Like you speak really powerfully about just owning where you're at and knowing that something is becoming whatever that is.
Well, I also want to, I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to show something else I've been doing in between. That one of the things that I realized I could do in between is I made a very conscious decision. It was very, very difficult. I've left a lot of relationships. I've had to let a lot of relationships go. Some of them willingly, some of them not. And one of the things that became very important, at least temporarily, was this holiday season is no immediate family. That's just where I had to own it. If I'm going to go into the person that I need to be, then right now I'm not ready to have those conversations. We can't act like the holidays are okay.
Right.
But one of the things I have done is I want to show all of this.
They're mailing packages.
I have been supporting Amplify members.
In their Patreons and
in their Patreons and in their gifts and in their stuff. So I wanted an authentic gift giving that I also felt like I'm receiving. And that's what this community is.
Oh my God. So you're like showing up, signing up for people's Patreons and getting. And
in some cases, just reaching out and just saying, look, like what's funny is Wanda, who I think you had on earlier,
she was on a couple days ago. Yep.
that she decided to do the 3 CDs. Well, before she even announced that, I was asking, I really want a chance to hear the trilogy to see like your progression and like hear it as like and then of course, right after I asked for it and right after she said, I'll send it to you, then I see the release on her newsletter. And I was like, before that.
Yes, you're so ahead of your time, Josh. That's amazing. So for anyone that's just listening, like Josh just showed up like, I don't know, 5 packages from.
And there's more coming. Like,
oh my gosh, I love that so much. So community based. Amazing. Before I go ask Chris Keats some questions about his 2020, Josh, where right now is there a place on the interwebs if people want to connect with you or follow your music or see what you're up to? Where's the best place to send people?
Go to my Instagram right now.
Instagram, great. Tell me what that is.
Bradford. It's literally Josh Bradford on Instagram. Josh Bradford Music. Josh Bradford Music. That's what it is.
Josh Bradford Music. I'm typing this into the chat box and it will be in the show notes for the podcast, Instagram.com/Josh Bradford Music. It's all spelled exactly how you think it should be spelled.
Yep, exactly.
Amazing. We're going to go. So that's our marching orders for Josh is we're going to go follow this journey of this beautiful human being. Cause Josh, that's what you are. Beautiful human being. Chris Keats, I asked you, I don't even know what I asked you, but you were telling us about what's coming up, which is just, I love that you just jumped to what's next. Like what a great mindset. And one we should all really be absorbing too, instead of dwelling on what didn't work or anything from this year, but really looking forward. I love that you just dove in. You're like, this is what I'm excited about for 20. I'm releasing 3 albums. I'm like, what? But tell me about your 2020 and how you had to pivot. And I know that location was a thing for you as well, but yeah, give me the nutshell of what happened for you this year.
So in January, I decided, even before the whole Valencia COVID thing, I guess it was kicking off in January, I decided I wanted to like master the business side of music. So I was like a happy-go-lucky artist working as a physio. I had this money coming in from physio that went straight into music. And it was like, in hindsight, and I hate to admit it, it was hobbyish, really. I'm obsessed with music and I've been a musician for years, but it was like, there was no like business game. I was just like making stuff, putting it out there. So I decided I was going to learn the business. So I've kind of done that with social media and the email marketing and all that kind of stuff, which has been amazing. Released 2 singles. But I think also like the biggest thing for me this year is like realizing I can't do it all on my own and I don't want to do it on my own and I need a community and a team. That's been the biggest thing because I'm so like independent. I'm like, I want to do everything myself. It's like, do you know what? You've got no idea how many hours I spent trying to get onto playlists I could have been spending recording or writing songs or, yeah. And I can't do it all. And I've tried to do it all this year and it's made me realize that being more focused, laser focused, as you would say, like more focused is so essential.
I really also love something that you just said very quickly, which is I can't do it on my own, which I think to an extent that's true for most musicians, but then you said, I don't want to do it all on my own. And I think that that's really beautiful. And when you actually decide that you want to get support, whether that means hiring someone or whether that just means you're in an accountability group that is excited when you do the thing that you didn't want to do, whatever that means, that you've got another human being that knows what you're up to. It's like for you, once you decide that you want that, I think so much opens up for you. So I didn't want to glaze over that you said, I can't do it alone and I don't want to do it alone. And I know that takes a journey. Usually to get to that place, you have to have wanted to do it alone or didn't think there were other options other than doing it alone. And then kind of getting to the point where it was like the overwhelm or the whatever it got you to the point to be like, let's try something else. So I love that you were able to articulate that and come to that. Oh, by the way, just so you know, the comments, Mary Beth is saying, Josh, you're so kind, which we all know is very true. And Gail said, Gail's an Amplify. She said she mailed Josh his CD while listening to Sarah Jelly's album, Amplify. She called that Amplify. So I love that. Sarah Jelly and Gail were both guests on the 12 Days of Amplify. So mailing Josh one while listening to another, it's all too perfect. So Gail, that's amazing. So amazing. So you came out with some singles. You sort of got your feet wet in how do we do this the right way? How do we pitch the right way?
Yeah.
And which makes total sense that you're now like, cool, now I'm ready to release 3 EPs. You're like, I'm not going to just do one. I'm going to do 3 in a year.
Exactly. Well, I want to release something every month of the year is what I want to do. So it'll be singles and EPs next year. I
love it. I totally love that. Really excited for you. Josh, you're still teaching and transitioning things. Do you have a sort of vision for yourself for 2021?
Actually, the beauty of 2020 was entering a new medium. I think that I got to talk about this on one of our last, like it was in July, and we literally had a conversation as I was going to do the premiere, experimental trying it out of a Zoom small group showing of my very, very first art installation film. We're still trying to figure out how to label it, which is why it's hard to market. I already know this. But my editor and I just got back together this week, and it's just like, that needs to still go on in 2021 because everything that still applied in 2020 still applies in 2021.
Yeah.
So we will be doing more work with that.
Cool.
And I mean, that's probably going to be a good focus. I'm really glad that I still made a big project happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it was a 90-minute, like it was a full concert. That's what's interesting is that as soon as I did it and Charmin saw it a couple of times, she decided, well, my husband and I, we wrote a film and we made one and we need to finish that. And all of a sudden they're on Amazon Prime. And I'm just like,
they just got there. And we heard from Charmin this morning. And she failed to mention that she's made a film with her husband and it's on Amazon Prime right now. Like, I'm sorry. Who are these people? Oh my God. Amazing. Yeah. So
but
everything triggers another idea.
Community that we're in. Yeah.
So inspiring. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I can't even believe I missed this. But Chris, you're talking about all this great music, KEATS. We go by KEATS, y'all, even though it says Chris Keats on the thing. And Keats would never say. Where do we listen to the music we've already heard, and how do we follow along with all the new stuff? How do we keep up? Where do we go?
Good question. So the website is www.keatsofficial.com.
And when someone goes to KEATS, KEATS official, official, not officially, KEATS official. I'm typing this in right now. When we go there, what should we do? What's the one thing you want someone to do if they're only going to hang around for 10 seconds?
Become part of my online community and receive a free song. That's what I'd like them to do.
We are super clear. We're going to keatsofficial.com and we are getting a free tune. Who doesn't want a free tune?
Exactly.
And joining the community, that's what we got to do. And then we're also going to Instagram to follow Josh Bradford Music.
Please.
And that journey, which is good stuff. You guys, we've been so laser here. We're shared what we did in 2020. We're shared what's coming up in 2021. Anything else that I haven't asked you that you want to share, that you've got going on, that you're psyched about? Any wins that you want to share and help uplift the entire independent music community?
Well, I'll share 2 things. Number 1, because I made a film, and because I was in the Amplify community, the Amplify community, all it did was just expand into, I just went ahead and started becoming parts of other communities. So I am probably going to take some of these little writings that I've been doing about my experience as a teacher in COVID, and that will probably be a published book somewhere in the next 2 years. I've decided that there's a very special place that I think an elementary music teacher can talk about this. Yeah. And I think that because of my journey, it can be interesting. The other thing I wanted you to notice, Cheryl, and I'm sure you see it, is you see your CD right next to Enya.
I noticed Enya. I noticed Enya real early on.
But right next door is John Cage's Scored a Dream. Ooh. And right by there is Chip Davis, the Fresh Air Interludes. So this is hoping, this is throwing out that even though you didn't get the Grammy this time, the journey is still there. Okay. So I always wanted to sit you next to the first woman and the guy over here that got it. And
the New Age Grammy.
The John Pagey guy that kind of like started it and didn't realize he started it. So yeah.
I thought the moon from my record, I thought it was just a halo. Because it just makes sense.
Oh, thank you.
Smooth.
But yeah.
Very smooth.
But yeah, also because of the film that I made, I completely felt completely comfortable in deciding to go ahead and make my elementary programs all virtual. So those are going to be released in January. I mean, to the school communities.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get permission to show it anywhere else.
Right. I love that. Look at you just tackling all the tech and figuring out all the systems. And thank you so much.
Working with editors like crazy. Yeah. Editors, they're on my team. Thank God. Because I can't do all that crap on my own. No way.
I love it so much. And thank you for the New Age nod there. I actually heard some great feedback, which is, you just need to do more New Age albums because it's people that you just need to get more New Age albums. I'm like, hold my beer, wine, whatever. Time to go. So I love that. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate the display. And I didn't notice Enya as soon as you logged on, and I did not see my own record. I did not even notice my own record. That's okay. Amazing. Chris, any other Keats wins? Last thoughts?
My most recent one is I decided to set up a group beginner's guitar session on a Saturday morning by accident, really. I had a student, she was like, oh, do you do group stuff? I was like, no, but I do now 3 days later. So that was a big win because I really wanted to do it for ages. And I was like, I just need the people. And now they're here. Super exciting. I love teaching.
I love that. Do you have this? Why, yes, I do.
Now I do. Because of you.
Now I do. Love that so much. I love the joy in both of your voices. We are lucky to have you. I've been saying this every single day, but I mean it every time. Listeners, we have our marching orders. We're going to KEATSofficial.com. KEATS official.com. We're getting on a mailing list and we're getting some free songs and we're following a really cool journey, and we're going to Instagram following Josh Bradford Music. So hop to it. And if you're a musician, you know what you need to do. You're going to go ahead to inthekey.co/amplify and check out and see if this community is one you want to be a part of. So I'm going to pop
it is.
Chris.
It is.
Josh, thank you so much. I'm going to pop you guys off and say one more thing to our listeners, but I can't thank you both enough for being here, and have a wonderful rest of your day and week.
Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Love it.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, everyone. I can't believe that I'm alone. I'm here on the last day of the 12 days of Amplify. This was such an extraordinary journey for me to talk to members that I've been with Josh has been in Amplify for years. Chris is a little bit newer, but everyone's got a different story. And at the same time, I feel like we're all rising together, which is really, really cool, no matter what we're doing or what our goals are. So thank you for coming along this journey with me and all of these musicians in Amplify. And again, if you're interested, I would absolutely love to have you. And you would be more than welcomed with big open arms from many, many people virtually, of course. And have a wonderful rest of your day, and keep, I think the one piece of advice that I would give all musicians that has made the biggest difference for me is to really acknowledge where you are and celebrate it in whatever way, big or small, that is, whatever that means to you. We have our term champagne win in Amplify because that's my personal celebration device. Someone else could have sparkling grape juice wine. It doesn't even need to be a beverage. It could be your, mint chocolate chip ice cream win. But just to acknowledge where you are, because where you are is amazing. And all of the previous versions of yourself got you to where you are today. And I think that that's extremely powerful to own where you are. And then also take a big breath and say, okay, now where? And hopefully we can be there with you and go along the way. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of this series, no matter how you've consumed it. And so appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Well, that's it for today's 12 Days of Amplify session. Thank you so much for listening. And if you are a musician and you're like, yes, I need to be part of this community, go to inthekey.co/amplify. I will see you there.